Hello and welcome to episode 97 of Unqualified Game Chat. I am your host, Azario Lopez, and with me is the blue shirt brother from another mother,
Mhm.
Spencer, the legacy.
Hello, everyone. I'm having technical issues, so
Ooh,
numero 4 of our attempts, but we're gonna nail this
I
one.
feel it. I feel it. Yeah, we've recorded this intro 4 times. I will say that was my best.
I was.
That was my best improv
I was. I like that one.
in the beginning. We have a few things to talk about this show. Hot off the press, we haven't discussed this, but Palworld was just
Yeah. Sued.
got noticed for copyright infringement from Nintendo, so we'll get into that. We'll get into Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster.
Wow.
But first, we have to say that this is our first Patreon episode where our patrons get these episodes a week early and then they go on to YouTube and podcast services a week later. If you subscribe to our Patreon, thank you so much. It really helps us do these kinds of things. We want to do more, and the more that Patreon grows, the more we can do. So hopefully this leads to only bigger only bigger things, bigger stuff that we can pull off and get away with because man, the industry.
Yikes. Not good.
Several rounds. Uh, Rest in peace, Touch Arcade.
I wrote a few articles for them long ago.
Press F. Press F.
Press F.
The closing of Touch Arcade kind of got me. How was working at there? How was writing for them?
It was good. It was very short term. I just did a few
Mm,
freelance news articles probably in like 2017, like a
mm.
long time ago. Everyone there was nice. It was I think I ran through Slack back then, and it was just everyone was nice. Just pitch stuff, cover stuff. It seemed like a good group and stuff, and it seemed to be well organized. So that's a real shame.
It's sad to see that these core websites that we grew up reading or just seeing on top like Touch Arcade's E3 top list, just
Yeah,
like just stuff like that. It's sad that
they're
I don't know.
falling like
There's a
that.
few websites that I modeled Noisy Pixel over off of. And what I liked about Touch Arcade when I was building Noisy Pixel was their mobile game coverage, and they were the only ones that did it in a professional way. It wasn't bought. It
Mhm.
wasn't like Clash of Clans paid them $5,000 to write this
Yeah,
review. Like
100%.
they were very much against accepting those sponsorships, and I knew that before they put out that. I think the editor in chief the owner put out a statement the other day. I knew they never did that stuff, and respect.
Yeah,
Um, it's sad that these bigger websites, as the business models change on how traffic is beneficial, back in 2008 and probably up till about 2000 like 14 15, Touch Arcade was probably making bank, guys.
oh yeah. As mobile
Like
gaming advanced, they were.
oh
Whew,
these editorial websites were making so much money
yeah, they were around from
because no one
like
had
the
what was it,
beginning.
like nobody just
Uh,
had access, like video was a thing, but nobody really had access to
yeah,
like quality video. It's gotten a lot easier to like just buy a camera and look like, hey, I do it every fucking day, I don't know anything about this camera. Yeah.
yeah. No, they were around since like mobile games were just like flash games, and then now where it's all gotcha. It's crazy. They've like witnessed the entire lifespan of mobile gaming. It's really sad
Yeah.
to see such a historical institution of online games media like that kick
What do
the
you think
bucket.
it is?
Uh,
Solve the video game industry in 10 seconds. Go.
Pay me lots of money. I'll say funny things on video, and everyone will click all the ads on the page.
I think it always comes back to, I think we already talked about this. Um, we're the 1940s actors, we're the
Oh,
the black and whites to the
yeah,
talkies,
to the
where,
talkie.
oh shit, now we have to dance, we have to sing, we
Yeah,
have to juggle, we have to skate, we have to all to just be in this picture, and that's what it is now.
used
A
to be you just
CEO,
write about games.
Ziff Davis CEO isn't going to edit videos or write articles or cover news beats, but he's going to take his $250,000 salary, probably way more. Let's be honest, he's probably at 500K, but he's just going to sit in his office and just reap those rewards.
Yeah,
And then, oh,
it's a
I don't
rough
know.
industry.
Yeah, but you know what? I can say that there's a path forward, right?
Hmm.
Like if I didn't see it and you didn't see it, do you think we would still be here?
No,
I
because
don't know. Yeah.
it's a kind of hopeless industry at times. It can feel
Hmm.
very dour. So you
Hmm.
have to have something in mind, or else you're just gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm gonna do anything else."
Yeah, I think we definitely lucked out with just a nice perspective, a nice head on our shoulders, a nice
Mhm.
like um upbringing, like all these things aligned to make us able to tackle this industry in a
Yeah,
way that isn't so defeating, because some, like, honestly, people can be mean, like
yeah, that too. It can be a
it's
nasty industry sometimes.
inside and out, like it's
Mhm. Oh, yeah, because
like
the outside it's just relentless. People hate games media, and then on the
yeah.
inside, games media hates games media. So it's just it's coming at you from all sides. What do you do?
I went to a preview event recently. I
Mm,
believe it was last week. Um I got into discussion with another writer about um gamers, and like I said the word gamers. I was like, "Oh yeah, we're all gamers." And they quickly
gamers.
said, "I don't like that word." And it went into all this like pretty, in my head it's like you can't redefine a word. I
Yeah,
understand that it has maybe a connotation that maybe has brought you some type of online discourse or anything. I understand that, but I do think that even saying I don't like that word creates the divide even more between media and
yeah.
journalists.
That's the thing is that like games media forever has not helped itself with the PR of being a games journalist. Like because most of them don't have any kind of media training or like journalism training, so they don't know that your job is not to be like if someone criticizes your work, you don't personal attack them on public social media. That's not, but like so many do that or like flame people for
Yeah.
clout online, and it's just
Yeah.
that's not how anything progresses properly.
Well, it's got to be so easy to just find a big name writer that maybe you saw on Polygon or something, and go on their Twitter and just like have the ability to just talk to them. Like
Yeah,
that set of interactions was not available to us 10 years ago.
yeah,
I could not call Adam, I cannot at Adam Schessler and be like, "Hey man, like that was a really good thing." Like
yeah.
I
There's
couldn't
too
do
much
that.
closeness now.
Yeah.
We weren't
Yeah.
as a human species, we weren't ready for that.
No. No.
Because like and it's just like I don't in that regard I don't know what how that can ever change because like it's also people just remember dumb old shit. Like I'll always anytime anyone disagrees with IGN they'll be like Imagine Baby's got a higher review than God Hand, and it's like dude, I love God Hand, but those games came out like 20 years ago and they were reviewed by probably different people. It's
Yeah.
like you got eventually you just got to be like you got to give it up because what are you proving at that point? You're like, well,
Yeah.
20 years ago you gave a wee baby game a high. Who cares? None of this
I'm
matters.
having I'm having such difficulty like getting behind like movements and stuff in the gaming industry when there's so many games to play.
Hmm.
It's like people are like these the humans that are putting so much energy behind going on every like Star Wars Outlaw review and like
Oh
talking
my
about
god.
like how woke it is and stuff. Like think about like dude, she's not gonna fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Like Star Wars is not gonna like you're
Star
not
Wars
gonna
isn't going to
change.
change. It's been 9 years since The Force Awakens came out. Disney
But
is not changing course on Star Wars
no,
anymore. If you had hope up until like 2017, 18, maybe it's
maybe.
over. It's
Yeah.
over. It's been
It's
so
over.
long
It,
that no amount of IGN comment sections is going to change the wokeification, as people might call it, of Star Wars. Star Wars is what it is now, and if you don't like it, that's totally fine. But you can't. It's like that person who constantly texts and like stalks an ex. It's
yeah.
over, dude. Star
Yeah.
Wars broke up with us. It's okay.
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
in
either accept the relationship that they're in now, maybe get into it a little bit. Maybe they're open to that, or you
I
just move on.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely tried to encourage that by like covering very obscure games and then like, dude, somebody has to be like, "Oh, well, I hate this Star Wars Outlaws, but look at this game for like
Yeah,
$20 that
you could be playing
is
Marvel 2 online, getting killed by Jay Wong right now,
right
and
now."
instead you're complaining about Star Wars Outlaw. Game's like a month old. It's already dead.
Oh man, it bled into the Rising. Ah, fuck. Check out the comments on our
Oh,
Dead
really?
Rising fucking review. Oh, it's we'll get into it. Um I have a topic right here. So I do a lot of audio on Noisy Pixel. It's easier. You know, someone will write the review, I'll do the audio. I'll me or Mark or edit will edit the video, but it's easier for just one person to do it in terms
Mhm.
of noise reduction and just setting. It's just easier, okay? And I've gotten kind of okay at it. I suck at reading, but I get it.
No, you're a good reader.
I think I have dyslexia.
Then you're a very good reader
Self-diagnosed,
because I can tell. Yeah.
self-diagnosed.
Then you're
Um,
excellent because I wouldn't have thought that from your reviews.
oh, I appreciate it. So we do offer to our other writers if they want to do audio, they can. We always
Mhm.
Colin does his. We also have Camille. She is a she's a great writer and she's a VTuber on Twitch. We got in early. See, that's what I'm saying. Touch Arcade, you should have got a
Should have the
VTuber on your
VTubers on the
side.
payroll.
God, get the VTuber first and then decide on whether you're going to shut
Get the
down. But
YouTube
don't
stars.
knock it till you try it.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, we actually have two VTubers on staff.
Wow.
Semi is also doing pretty well in the VTubing space, but both of them, Camille and Semi, fucking hard ass workers. They're out there grinding on their own brand as much as they do for Noisy Pixel, and it's
Hell
cool
yeah.
to see. But so Camille does her own audio, and she's French and very strong accent, but does an amazing job. Tell me, Spencer.
Yeah.
Tell me, Mister Legacy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why does every fucking comment on every Camille review is like, I really love your voice. I'm
Because
just
they're
glad I'm not hearing Azario right now.
because
Fuck
she's
you
a girl
guys.
on the internet.
Fuck you guys.
She's gonna get horrible comments, and they're
Some
gonna
I think it
splash
was
back on you.
I think his name is Bacho or Bachu or something. He comments a lot on our videos.
Call him out.
But he's like all these people talking down on Azario. He's gonna have to start an ASMR channel, and I was like, I don't think these people know that I'm the one that's in the comments. Like, I could see like just a random person on the internet coming
Yeah.
up to a review of this game and be like, "Oh, Noisy Pixel, you got French girls doing audio."
And then they click an
And
Azario and
then
they're like,
yeah, but
"That's not a French girl."
they assume that that's everything, but
Yeah.
no. Um,
Which is
I
it's
do
funny
like
they don't know it's you who comments because if I like because I know you well,
yeah.
when I read those comments, I'm like, that's
Sometimes
Azario.
yeah, sometimes I forget to put my name on the end.
Yeah.
Sometimes I only put my name if it's like something that I feel like I would get in trouble for saying, or maybe one of the writers doesn't wouldn't find it funny and like my joke.
Yeah.
So I make it known. No, I'm the one saying the joke, not Noisy
Yeah.
Pixel.
No, you write exactly like in our chat, so I'm always like, oh, that's Azario being sassy.
It's like, is he mad? Is he?
He's
It's supposed to.
jovial.
Um, but I see you. I see you, fuckboys out there. Hey, you know what? Respect. Not gonna knock
Respect, you're on
not
the
gonna
hustle. Hey.
not gonna knock the hustle. I mean, you lose every opportunity that you don't swing at. So, but
But
honestly, at this
maybe
point,
maybe
I
don't
might
be
be
mean to
easier to
Azario.
swing at. I might be easier to swing at than Camille though. At this point,
Yeah,
if you're trying to
you're
get
probably
love,
not
I
gonna
need it.
find love in the noisy pixel
I,
comment section.
maybe I'm more starved for love than Camille is. No, I get plenty of love. I get plenty of love.
Hear
Um,
that, ladies of the comment section? Azario's open for business,
no, no, no,
and
no, 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 no. Oh, speaking of love, outside of the
yeah,
game industry, Survivor is back today. So
wow,
expect me every week to come in with a hot Survivor take. So be sure to watch it.
whoa,
And these are recorded before Survivor airs, so I won't have any spoilers for
it'll be
tonight's
last
show.
week's
It'd be last week's show.
episode. I haven't watched Survivor in like 20 years. I don't know
Dude,
what's
you're gonna
cooking.
watch it?
I don't know. My mom probably
it's
will.
it's so stupidly good.
It really is the
It's
like
like
the peak
it's like
reality, just
yeah.
betrayal on an island for like rice.
It's like
That's cool.
my only break from like video games and just like
Yeah.
pure junk food, dude. Just like
Everyone has, I
it's
find, especially in this industry where like video games become your job too. It's when
yeah.
you find like a TV show, like right now I'm going through like House, where you just like
Oh,
you put it
yeah.
on and you're just like, oh, this isn't a video game. This I'm like when I'm on the treadmill, I watch like news radio, and I'm just like, oh, it's Phil Hartman. I don't have to think about video games. Uh,
yeah, I'll put on like a Bill Burr fucking
yeah,
podcast just to feel like I'm an adult. Just-
I want to watch 3 TV shows. I want to watch another show so that it's just not video games. So I like put on like Peep Show because I never watched that British TV. I'm just like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, there's no video game at all involved in this. It's perfect. I don't have to write about this television program.
Um, yeah, Survivor. Watch it.
Yeah. Would you
Um,
ever be on the show if you were offered?
yes, I think I would do pretty well.
Let's get guys in the comments. Hashtag Azario Survivor. Let's get
Hashtag
Azario
Jeff
on the show.
Probst. Get this boy on Survivor.
Let's get him on Survivor.
It's funny. It's funny because a lot of people wouldn't. A lot of listeners might not know this, but PR people don't usually like play video games. A lot of like these agency guys, um, but they do. They do like normal shit, like
Survivor.
reality TV show. Um, and it actually gives me like something to talk about with them, like me watching Survivor and even The Bachelor to a certain extent opens up avenues of conversation with PR
Yeah.
agency people that makes pretty good impressions. It's better than fucking these people that like go up to PR agencies and expects them to talk about like the nuances of Marvel
Yeah.
versus Capcom 2 and like hitbox fucking
Yeah, they don't
percent,
know.
you
You go
know?
up and you're like, yo, man, you see the fucking newest Golden Bachelor? Can you believe that shit?
Yeah,
And they're
they
like,
love
oh,
that shit.
dude.
Dude, finally
Everybody
something I
used to
can
talk
talk
about like
about.
Digimon with PR people and like emails. I'd be like, yo, the Flame Dramon, dude, that's where it's at. It's the, like just talking to them about shit that they like and that you like is that's the
Yeah,
best way to
it's
vibe.
it's it is the it's a good relationship because friend is tough. I don't have a lot of friends in the industry. I just don't consider people that I see once a year and we rap really well. I don't want to call us friends. I want to put a word to it, but
Uh,
I also there has to be something different because a friend is someone who kind of puts a friend is like me and Mark, where like we've annoyed each other maybe in the past, or like we've seen each other at sad
we've
times,
seen
we've
the
seen each
real
other at
one.
mad. Yeah, we've seen each other in a range of emotions and not just, oh, I'm really excited to be at PAX, let's catch up. Let's, no,
I
it's
definitely
like,
have PR people I consider friends from that, but it is definitely like a
mm,
lot of it's like work acquaintance, sure,
yeah,
but there are definitely some who I would consider friends. It really it's like anyone else where it's
yeah.
also how much you connect on a. You can typically tell pretty quick, like oh, like this person I vibe beyond like oh nice show, eh? Yeah, no, this is I can't believe I just said a like a fucking.
I have to get past though. I have to get past games. If I'm going to like talk real talk with a PR person, I need to not like they definitely have their guard up. They're just used to people trying to get information from them and I understand that. So I want to talk about something with them anything other than video games. And that usually tells me if they're like, yeah, this person is like someone you can talk to or someone like that,
Mhm.
and you're right. There are people in this industry, um, a lot more like art. I've met a lot more artists that I seem to connect with a lot more,
Mhm.
than just PR people, but um, I just
There's
don't want
PR
to.
people I love dearly who are like so nice and cool.
Yeah, you know who's really cool that I don't reach out to? Aaron. He's the community manager at Insomniac
Insomniac.
now.
Aaron's a great guy. Love Aaron.
He's a good guy. He's a
There's
good
a
guy. There's people
classic
like that.
photo of us at like PSX with like for
Oh yeah, good
Spider-Man
for him.
doing poses and shit long ago. That was
Yeah,
good times.
good for him. He was doing like gung ho at one point too. Like
Yeah,
Puzzle
Deep
and Dragons, I
Silver.
think was his beat.
Yeah, and then he was Deep Silver, I think.
For yeah, oh yeah, he worked on shitty games. Poor guy. He
Damn,
worked on.
dude.
Well, wait, what was that deep? So, fuck that. Like, not. Did he work on that Saints Row like game? That really purple
Oh,
one. What was?
Mayhem.
What was that called?
Agents of Mayhem.
Yeah, Agents.
I
I
remember
know
that
he
because I
fucking
worked
worked.
at
Yeah,
GameStop when it came out, and the commercial
yeah.
played every 30 minutes.
I remember him giving me at the E3 event that he gave me like the fucking huge ass bright ass purple and I was like, I'm never gonna wear this bright ass purple shirt. Like,
Did you?
and then no, I don't think I did. I
Uh,
gave a lot of those clothes away to my nephew. A lot of them don't fit. A lot of them
mm,
just never fit.
that's
Um,
fair.
a lot
I
of
get my dad
Japanese.
too.
That's cool because they always send like XLs or XXXL, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this?
My dad like will
Um,
walk around in like a DC Universe Online shirt, sometimes or like a
That's so sick.
Dead or
Or like,
Alive
yeah,
flag shirt.
you're that's so funny because like I gave my dad like a Final Fantasy VII Village shirt,
Yeah,
and he'll just randomly like be cleaning the yard and just be using his
yeah.
village.
I have like an Ace Combat shirt or like Dead or Alive Ultimate where it's just like the
They don't know
logo.
how cool they are. They
Dude,
don't
my
know
dad
how.
has in like the room over there. He stores a bunch of his shit in like my Final Fantasy 14 Stormblood pack that you got from like E3.
He
The
has
back
no idea.
filled with like his shit. It's so funny. I'm like, Dad,
He
you don't
has
even.
no
There's
idea.
like a Yakuza 6 one on the wall that's filled with shit. It's so goofy.
He has no idea. Um, we do have video games to talk about.
We do.
Video game news.
You guys want to hear about video
Um,
games while you're here?
I just wanted to touch on this is hot off the press. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company filed a lawsuit against Palworld
That's
developer, and
just
I'll read you the messaging here. It says the lawsuit seeks an injunction against infringement and compensation for damages on the grounds that Palworld, the game developed and released by the defendant, infringes multiple patent rights. Nintendo will continue to take necessary action against any infringement of its intellectual property rights, including the Nintendo brand itself, to protect the intellectual properties it has worked hard to establish over the years. Um, saw this coming.
so you're saying buy Palworld now while you
Yeah.
still can.
I still have fucking Flappy Bird installed on my phone. It doesn't work. It doesn't work, but I still have it. I've never deleted it.
Whoa, and
Um,
it's coming back too.
yeah, hopefully it's the same app so I can finally come full circle. Spend years. It's like,
Yeah,
this app is not supported on your device any longer. Do you want to delete it? And I just press keep every time.
keep.
Keep, keep,
Never get
keep.
rid of it.
Um,
That's like the Fallout 4 app. I have the same thing.
I think we knew this Palworld show was coming, and I think they knew it was coming. I think
Yeah.
that Nintendo is one to bait, and they're just not. They are not shy to one sue a fucker and two bait them until they have the necessary stuff to sue them. What fucking Nintendo did was brilliant.
Mm. A masterful game.
They let Palworld have its moment. That fucking thing sold like fucking hotcakes, bro.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was the biggest shit. And it was like, and now look at the Steam charts. It's going lower and lower.
Mm.
Pokemon Company waited till those bitches lost all their fucking money and burned through their fucking overhead.
Oh
And
my
now they're
god.
like, now we're going to go in for the kill. You have no players. You have no updates on the line. You don't, if they were to say they were suing them when there was a million people playing Palworld, how would that have gone?
Yeah, that would have
How,
been
how,
horrible.
It would have been fucking terrible. They have no games. They have no huge games coming out for the rest of the year except for Zelda
And also,
and Mario
Pokemon's
Party.
incredibly rare.
They
People
don't have any
would
like.
be like, nah.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
They're fucking trying to kill. They're trying to sink this company. They're trying to grab this little
Think
developer.
it'll work? Or do you think they'll just settle out of court?
They it's weird because like I've seen the comparisons of some of those rigs,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I love giving developers benefit of the doubt because fuck big companies, but they didn't really even try, man.
Yeah, it's true. I'm in the same boat where it's like, I'm glad that something was like, oh, this is what people want from Pokemon that Nintendo's never going to give you. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it's like, you should have made it not Pokemon. Like, you
Yeah,
shouldn't have used models and shit that are so clearly basically close to you should have not done that, because then
it
you would they would have nothing to stand on, and you would be
yeah.
like a legitimate competitor with
I
Pokemon.
can only hope that maybe they updated those rigs
Mm.
and removed all that stuff, but I don't think that's the case because I think that's something that they would talk about. Hey, these animations changed a little bit, but it's also highlights kind of like AI. Like, let's be honest, they Palworld can say they didn't use AI, but fuck, dude,
Did they? I thought they didn't. I thought that everyone said they did, and then it came out that they actually didn't. Do you
they
think they
said that
did?
they didn't. They're saying they didn't, but those designs are just strikingly similar to other monsters. It's just weird. It's
I
just
feel like that's
weird.
more plagiarism than AI. I feel like they were just
Can I
like, oh, we want something that's like Lucario,
can I
and then
tell
they
you
just
something?
as legally distinct as possible. Yeah, tell me.
You've so so when you read like Roblox news, have you ever played Roblox?
No.
So Palworld's a lot like that to me, and Roblox is a lot like that to me. I know what Palworld is. I've
Mhm.
never seen it being played.
I've
I've
seen
never.
it being played, and I've heard a lot of people tell me to play it, and I will eventually. But it's like $40 now. I want to spend $40.
It's guns, right? Like you like walk around with an AK-47 to shoot monsters.
You cache them still, and like you can set up traps to catch them and train them, and you set up bases, and they like work on them and defend them for you. I guess it's more
Wow,
complex. It sounds like.
that's more than that right there is more than I've known about the game this
Yeah,
entire time. See, I
yeah.
know more about the art stuff. That's such a great thing about being like off of like the Twitter algorithm too, because like when that was going on, all you read about is like, oh, the art, the art, the art. But like, what the fuck is this actual? What is
It was all
this
just like
game?
inflammatory, where it's like, even if you're right, you're presenting this in the worst way possible. Just angry to be angry. Like, it's not this serious. We None of us work for Nintendo or the Pokemon Company. It's whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Yeah, so true. Um, all right, and then lastly, I want to talk to you about Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. What did you give Dead Rising Deluxe
I give it a
Remaster?
4.5 out of 5.
What does that translate to in 10 language?
9.
I'm going to review right now. Um, let's read. Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered is, for the most part, a strong revisit of one of Capcom's classic titles. The new improvements are excellent, and the small problems aren't enough to derail the experience. The original game is still widely accessible on current consoles regardless, but I recommend checking out Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster if you're fond of the original or looking for a unique new experience, as there's nothing quite like it.
Other than Dead Rising 2 and 3 and 4. I figured that's implied.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Listeners, you are getting this conversation from people. I've never played Dead Rising.
I'm the opposite. Dead Rising 1's one of my favorite games of all time.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's why this is good that I that there is nothing quite like it is something that I will say I had the worst time playing in the first 2 hours of that game. Maybe the first like 5 hours of that game.
It didn't lose
And
its jank in some ways.
It's but it's not only that, it's a game that trusts its player
Mhm.
to not play by the rules.
Yeah,
It's a game that says go there, but don't be afraid to
yeah, you
go
got
here.
time.
Yeah, and like press something and play with something. They don't explain to you grab a skateboard.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's what I
when
love. They leave you to your own devices.
when I first played when I was doing the preview, I was like running around and I was like, fuck, it takes so long to get from one side to the other, like in the big ball area. And I was like, oh, a skateboard, I'll just pick it up. Okay. Do I swing it? And I tried swinging it. I was like, no, I can't swing it. And then I just hold R2 and it's like it just goes.
Yeah, there's
And
so
like
many
I was
funny
like,
things like that.
and then the game starts making sense.
Hmm. It's
The
so strange, but there's so many possibilities. You can really use anything. Some of them, like the skateboard, it's just like, oh, this doesn't work how I thought at all. This is way better. And like, the game trusts the players a
mm,
lot, which is why you can get soft locked for
yeah.
sure and get like the bad endings. But like the first time I ever played it, I soft locked myself and then was like, the, very few games would have me go, oh, I'll just restart. And
Yeah.
happen.
I restarted 3 times. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but you're right. It's like 72 hours. Like I'll like
That's nothing.
it is nothing. The way that my brain again never played it like fucking stupid shit like the maintenance tunnel key.
Yeah, that's a huge. They never really tell you much about it, but if you can go at any time, just go down the main tunnel, get the key. Suddenly, it's so much easier to
Everything's
get
open.
around. Yeah,
Everything's
especially
open to
with
get
more
around.
enemies here, it's so much easier. It's
So
crazy.
if you play, I think if you play to like the second or third day,
Hmm.
somebody says something about that key.
Probably
Like
Otis.
somebody tell like if you talk to like that's the only way that somebody or get then that's how I remember like just talking to like people and that was the only way that and that was like so I restarted after that because I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh shit. Okay, I know where this key is. I'm just going to restart the game again,
and it's
grab
so
this
much
key in the
easier.
beginning." Dude, it allowed me to save a bunch of people. I haven't played through and saved everybody yet.
Mhm.
But
I'm
that's
gonna
fine
do it.
because I enjoyed my experience. And
Yeah.
what is it? The
Oh,
overtime mode kind of
yeah.
weird, but
I like that. It's like an extra. Then the story continues on. And it's I always like, but the thing is, you were lucky to only play the remaster because the companion AI in the original is so bad. It was the
okay.
most derided part. Every time you go to rescue someone, they would fucking die because they were stupid. And then in this one, they fixed it so much they actually defend themselves. They
Yeah,
actually
you can give
follow
them
you
weapons.
properly.
Some of
Yeah,
them you can give weapons.
yeah. They actually
You can pick
properly
them up.
follow. You
Could you
can,
pick them
yeah.
up in the first? Could you
You can
pick
pick
them
up
up in the
some,
first one?
yeah,
Oh,
like the broken leg guy and stuff like that. And it's so much smoother in that regard. The auto saves in every area, holy shit.
yeah, yeah.
It's such a huge improvement. You don't lose all your progress because you died to a psychopath that you didn't anticipate being in an area. It's so
The
cool.
so so I said this in my review, but it is definitely a remaster because there's because after I beat it the first time, I was like, let's see how like I wanted to watch how other people play it, so I watched a speed run of it, and there's this moment early on where you can there's like a item RNG area
Mhm.
and the guy was like talking about it on the speed run. It's like, oh, this could be a can or a skateboard. Oh, it's a can. Well, I went to that area in my game and loaded up, and the RNG was the same. So all I can
Wow.
think is that they did use the same. It is
Yeah,
based on the same code. So
I
it
believe
does
it.
fall. It doesn't fall into like a remake category. This is definitely a pure like
It's so fun.
remaster.
It's such a
Um,
good everything. Almost everything that should be kept faithfully is. I'm not huge on how they changed Cliff's dialogue a little bit, and Frank's original voice actor is my favorite. Like he's so perfect. The new guy is great, but the original Frank had this very everyman. Like his voice was
yeah,
perfect. Where you're just like, this is just a guy. This is just some guy who's here. He's like a kind of weird journalist guy, and he's just like here, and it really added to it. But the new guy's he's completely fine. He does a great job. It's just he's going up against literally the perfect voice for this character.
yeah. It seemed like it's like they had such a good model with the original that they were like, oh, these people want just a normal looking guy, so they made
Yeah,
him more normal looking. But they, I think you're right in saying that it's the voice that probably
yeah.
created that sense a little more than just his. Uh,
It's like it's a I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a B movie voice where he's like it's like Bruce Campbell or something. Where you're just like, oh, he's normal, but he's also kind of hokey, like which is fitting because Dead Rising it's like a B movie esque concept, like very much so. So it's he was perfect, but the new guy's completely great and fine. I just miss TJ because he was even in like partially. I played a shit ton of Marvel vs. Capcom with my brother, so three I mained Frank West, so I would just constantly hear his voice clips there, and I think that really ingrained it into my brain too. But other than those like two tiny things, there's so much shit that so many quality of life things, durability bars for the items instead of it just flashing when it's going to break. It's so
oh
much easier
yeah.
to know
Oh, see, I did not. I was very like that on
moving
my
and
point.
aiming. Oof.
I love that this game keeps it simple to where you only have to worry about the item durability, nothing
Yeah,
else. Like
yeah.
don't you're not going to get you're not going to get into any of the stats or any like overly strange customization like a dead island, you know? It's not we're not going to do all that. It's
Like,
so
oh,
surface
this
level
sword.
here.
I want to use this.
Frank West isn't a fucking hero. Just a
Yeah,
photographer doing his damn thing. Like
dude.
he's it's so like that game design, Kenshi Ifune. Yes, like
Yeah.
you fucking I'll tell you, keep it simple. Keep it simple, stupid. Like the breath of fresh air to just play a game that just play. You
Have
know,
you ever?
like
Have you ever played any of them?
no.
Okay, well, two takes
I
this. It takes it further in a good
I hear
way,
it's better. I hear
where
it's
you
better,
can
yeah.
combine weapons, so you can like duct tape chainsaws to a paddle, and it's like that's the perfect evolution because it's still like just random
Janky.
shit and
Yeah.
jank.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, but now, like, yeah, you would duct tape them together if you had the, like, that's completely what you would do. It's
And then
amazing.
of course what they did with 3 is they went like so cinematic fucking
Vehicles,
Transformers universe like
yeah, mech suit and
is
vehicles. I
fucking
one is one of my favorite games ever, and I love two a lot. Same with two off the record, but one has this something special to one. Maybe it's Frank, maybe it's the novelty of it being the first and Frank, but there's something very special, and it's I think that something very special has survived the remaster experience or the remake experience, whatever you want to call it. So I think that it is if this can be your first time playing it or your 50th time, either whether you're more like Zario or more like me, and I think you will still have an excellent time because it's just so different and special and fun and goofy.
let's talk about Cliff's dialogue. What is it about his dialogue that
Yeah. So in the original, he's a Vietnam War vet, and he says, "Oh, are you Viet Cong? You're a communist. I can tell." So it's not that different because they changed it to like, "Oh, are you a mole? This is
Mhm.
war," kind of thing. But having it be a real life war and like a veteran who had the flashback kind of thing really made it more. It makes it more tragic because it's easier to be like, oh, this is like a real person who just cracked. Rather, if it's just like, oh, I was at war, now I'm mad. There's not that real grounding of like, oh, that was a real thing. That like
It
I
almost
know
makes
what
him
that is.
yeah, it almost makes him more scary. It almost
Yeah,
makes him like I know this is an enemy that I know.
it also
Like
grounds the world because you're like, oh, so this is pretty much the world that we're in, but this happened. That's very scary, and it's awful that this happened. You go from being like, oh, he has like a kind of his reason is kind of vague, but like he just snapped to being like, oh, he was like a real person in a real event, obviously fictional, like, but that it grounds it in your mind where you can go, that's a real thing, and I know what that is, and it makes him a bit more tragic in his final cutscene there. But it's not a huge thing. It's he's most of the
well,
shit's
I'll
not
say
changed.
that's honestly the reason I gave it a not a 9. I gave it an
Mhm.
8.5 is so after I played the game, I played through that scene and I remember not really caring. And
Mhm.
then so before I started writing my review, I wanted to see some of like there's previews that went out and I wanted to see what like old fans were looking for in this game because I already beat the game. I already had my opinion, but
Yeah,
what were old fans looking for? Because I knew I was going to write this review and they're like, "Oh, you didn't touch on this, you didn't say on this." So I wanted to see like what do people want my opinion on? Let me see what I can do. So every person I said showed I finally saw that scene and I agreed. I
it
agreed
hits
that
harder. Yeah,
it does. It definitely does. I don't agree. I don't think that they also like because a lot of the other people were like, "Oh, the erotica pictures are removed." I don't think it's that because you can still take those pictures
yeah.
in the game. It's just you
I
don't get the
understand
bonuses.
it to the point of it's making fun of paparazzi like
Yeah,
journalism, but I know that most of the people who are mad about that probably aren't arguing it for that purpose.
yeah, yeah.
But so I don't really care what.
You could still take the pictures if you want
Yeah,
to take them that
the
bad.
game doesn't
They
go
did.
no, no, no. You can
No,
still do it.
yeah,
You just
yeah.
don't get extra points.
Yeah, yeah. It's and I feel like they did do some they did rebalance the points to where you get more
You
points.
get a lot of points. Yeah,
You get a lot of points. And I saw that too when I was researching is that people were like it's too easy, but I will say that my first time playing it was hard. I died a lot. I died
especially near
I
the
was very
beginning.
frustrated. The first 5 hours I was dying. I didn't know how to manage my items. I didn't know how to keep him alive. I didn't know I was so frustrated that the game was not coming naturally or easy to me, but I have all these people telling me, "No, it's my favorite game. It's my favorite game." So I was like, "What the fuck am I doing wrong?" And
It really is
you
an
just need to
acquired
not
taste,
force
man.
it. You need reviewing a game is like a bullet train. You're like, "I'm trying to get to the end." You know, that is not how you play Dead Rising. Dead Rising is chill, bro. Go
Whereas
inside
if
this,
you have time, fuck around.
fuck around. The It's not that bad. You can beat this game. Don't worry. That's not the
And
problem here.
it tells you how much time you have. You can advance time if you want to kill time. You have all the time in the world. Like, because a lot of people are turned off when they hear, oh, there's a time limit. That's scary, which I get to a degree. But the
Mhm.
time limit in Dead Rising is A, very generous, and B, I think the main function is that you don't kill zombies and hordes for like 20 minutes and then be like, I'm bored. I'm done. That was fun. You don't have the time to just fuck around the whole time. So
Yeah.
you go, oh, I'm having fun fucking around. Oh, I better go to that thing. Then you're ready to fuck around more
Yeah.
once you're done that story mission. And then you do that. I think it's perfectly implemented to keep the entire game really fresh.
Yeah. And you're just like, oh, I knew this store that I was going to, but while you're going to that store, you get like a little radio call. Oh, there's two people held up. Do you want to go? Do you want to go save them?
Yeah,
And you end up going and fucking getting fucking chainsawed by a clown or some
yeah.
shit. It's like, but
He's the iconic one.
I loved again Keiji Inafune. The boss battles
Mm-hmm.
killed
They're
it.
so fun. And
I
there's
mean,
so many little details.
arguably, wait, I take that back because some little fucking nerds are gonna be like, well, all the Mega Mans after 2 were just fan made. You're right. He didn't do any of the bosses, but just having bosses in the game.
Also, Mega Man 2 has good bosses.
They're all from like a contest
Yeah, I
where
remember reading
they
that.
yeah. But I don't think they
Yeah.
designed any bosses after 2 or after
Oh,
1.
really? That's
I think
crazy.
so. Yeah, I think it was like a while before they actually like all those bosses were all fan
That's
contest
interesting.
stuff. Cool, cool
Um,
story.
did you ever try
But
and
these
throw an
bosses
item
were
on
all
your head?
fun, and I found a love also in the game for the psychopaths. I thought that was and you could run away. You don't
Yeah,
have to fight them. It is so, but
but if you fight
that
them, you
yes,
don't get free items.
yeah, that area is gonna be a little dangerous. You know what? Also, I love if you don't clear out the warehouse from time to time, it gets a little crowded in
Yeah,
there.
there's a lot of people. There's a lot of little zombies, and that's one of the game is full of tiny details. Like,
Yeah,
did you ever try and throw something when you're not holding anything?
no,
You just spit. There's a spit button. You can just spit on people by its
oh, that's
frank.
awesome.
If you aren't holding something and you like hold the L2 and then press R, he just spits and it like actually hits and they go, oh. Like there's so many tiny things like that. It's like this
I
fucking
did notice
rocks.
one thing they added was a staircase up to the vent. I noticed
Yeah,
in the original you just kind of crawled up a
yeah.
little. ledge.
There's so
That's a
many tiny things like that where it's just like, okay, thank you. That's so
yeah.
good.
I needed a
Thank you
staircase.
for fixing that. I'm so glad you did
um, but great game. I
that.
think it deserves all the accolades. I'm a believer now.
I hope they do two next.
I'm all for these keeping games simpler. Let's get
Keeping them
back to
weird too.
keeping them weird and fun. Like, sure, I can fuck around in Last of Us if that's the experience you want to do, but Astrobot is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, once in a while, I want to wear a surfboard head. I want to have a golf club and a paddle and an umbrella and a
Sometimes I don't
katana
want to.
and just
Yeah,
fight shit and
I
be
don't want to
silly.
feel emotion. I just want to play a goddamn
I just
video
want to be Frank
game.
West and plow through crowds with a shopping cart because it's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a good episode.
It was. Thank you all.
Thank you all for listening and hanging out. I give this episode a 10 out of 10.
I gave this episode also a 10 out of 10. Be sure to stay
That's
tuned to Noisy Pixel for all the latest news, reviews, games, and previews. I don't remember the rest.
Yeah, I actually changed it and I have to bring up I changed it after the 3-4 years or something to like a
Yeah.
Patreon one. And I have to like pull up a a script every single time. I can't memorize. I can't old habits die
Yeah,
hard.
that was Die Hard. It's true.
All right, everyone. Have a good week. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much for being Patreon or thank you so much to our Patreon subscribers.
Love you,
And
fellows.
love you. Love you all. Love you.
Love you all.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.